Welcome back to Word Wonder. Last time, we learned 10 must-know Korean verbs, but knowing verbs alone isn't enough. You also need to conjugate them so you can actually use them in conversations. So today, we're going to learn how to change these verbs into present, past, and future tenses. If you're ready, let's start! Before we dive in, let's quickly review the 10 verbs from our last lesson.
To go, 가다. To come, 오다. To eat, 먹다. To see, 보다. To do, 하다. To drink, 마시다. To sleep, 자다. To give, 주다. To buy, 사다. To read, 읽다.
Now that we've refreshed our memory, let's move on to conjugation. Alright, so what exactly is conjugation? And why is it important? Conjugation means changing a verb's form depending on when an action happens. May it be past, present, or future. In Korean, verbs follow specific patterns, making it easier to predict how they change. Before you can conjugate a verb, you need to find its stem. The stem is what remains after removing da from the dictionary form of the verb. Example, to go. In Korean, gada. Remove da, so the verb stem is ga. To eat. In Korean, 먹다. Remove da, the verb stem is 먹. Now that we have the stems, let's start with the present tense. So, how do we say something that's happening right now? Present tense is used for things happening now or actions done regularly. In Korean, they use yo or oyo to show that something is happening now or happens regularly. If the verb stem ends in a vowel, add yo. If the verb stem ends in a consonant, add oyo. Examples, gada. The present form is gayo, gayo, which means I go or I am going. 먹다. In present form, 먹어요, 먹어요, which means I eat or I am eating. 보다, 보다. In present form, 봐요, 봐요, which means I see or I am watching. Great! Now, let's see how to express actions that already happened. When talking about things that happened before, we use the past tense. Past tense is used for completed actions. For past tense, we use asoyo or osoyo to show that something has been completed. If the last vowel in the verb stem is a or o, add asoyo. But if the last vowel is anything else, add osoyo. The past tense of gada is gasoyo, which means I went. The past tense of 먹다 is 먹었어요, which means I ate. The past tense of 보다 is 보았어요, which means I saw. Now that we know how to talk about the past, let's move on to the future. What about things that haven't happened yet? That's where the future tense comes in. Future tense is used for actions that will happen later. To talk about the future, we add 우고요. or ilgoyo, depending on whether the verb stem ends in a consonant or a vowel. If the verb stem ends in a vowel, add ilgoyo. If the verb stem ends in a consonant, add ulgoyo. Examples: gada, galgoyo, which means I will go. Mokda, mogolgoyo, which means I will eat. Boda, bolgoyo, which means I will see. And that's how you talk about the future. Now, let's test what we've learned with a short quiz. That's it for today's lesson. Now, you can use verbs in real-life conversations. Make sure to practice, and if you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Word Wonder. See you in the next video. Annyeong!